Hello everyone. Let's see whether the audio is functioning or not. Just to give you a head start, we were doing July's monthly magazine of Vision. We already completed polity and IR section and we'll move on to economics now. So we'll just revise polity and governance and the IR part, and then we'll move on to economy. We did all of this and we'll revise really quickly. Let's see if the audio is working. Yeah, it's working. So we'll just revise quickly what all we studied up till now. Polity and governance, we started on 26th August and we took a break because I was sick. Let's continue now. Polity and governance, we did Uniform Civil Code. We saw that the 22nd Law Commission of India sought suggestions from various stakeholders on a uniform civil code. In this, we have to remember two reports, Lex Loci report 1840 and B.N. Rao committee report 1941. Okay, and in this, Goa is the only place in India where the UCC is in practice because of the Portuguese Civil Code of 1867. There are three important judgments in it. Shah Bano case 1985, in which they outlined the contours of a uniform civil code. Then Shalla Mudgal case 1995, which reiterated the need for UCC, and Shara Bano case 2017, in which they banned triple talaq. And since talaq is part of divorce, which is part of the personal laws, it affects uniform civil code as well. Then United Nations Human Rights Committee has called on India to implement UCC. Okay. Then the second part we did was judicial pendency, in which we have to remember that there are 5 crore cases pending according to Ministry of Law and Justice. Then 21 judges for every million people, but the recommendation number is 50. So we are far below the recommended number. And we spend around 0.08% of GDP on judiciary. Then there is Project Sahyog, which says to reduce pending cases. Then there is NLP, National Litigation Policy. Then we saw ED, Directorate of Enforcement, and in this we saw that ED has 4 laws under it. First is PAMLA, Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002. Then is FEMA, Foreign Exchange Management Act 1999. Then is FUA, Fugitive Economic Offenders Act 2018. And there is COFEPOSA, Conservation of Foreign Exchange and Prevention of Smuggling Activities Act 1974. Supreme Court said that maximum of 3 annual extensions only can be given to ED as per the Act. ED comes under Department of Revenue, Ministry of Finance, and its main area is economic crimes, foreign exchange laws, and it is appointed as per the CVC Act 2003. Okay, then yeah. Third we saw was Multi-State Cooperative Societies Amendment Bill, in this we can say that our cabinet has approved 3 national level MSCS under export organic seeds. Then the board can be maximum of 21 directors, and they can opt for 2 additional directors. There has to be 2 women and 1 SC or ST. Then we saw Cinematograph Amendment Bill 2023. In this, There are 9 regional offices and 3 additional age-based certifications have been introduced, that is UA plus 7, UA plus 13 and UA plus 16. Then we saw that Article 23 is no one can be made a witness against himself, that is right to silence. Then Central Board of Indirect Taxes comes under Department of Revenue, Ministry of Finance. ED comes under the same ministry. Then we have India's digital market touched $1 trillion economy is expected to touch $1 trillion economy in 2025-26. And what is dark patterns? I'm not able to recall. Let's see. Dark patterns is a user interface crafted to trick or manipulate users into making choices detrimental to their interest. Okay. So if there are misleading advertisements, then that comes under dark pattern. Okay. It has many guidelines. 4 online advertisement techniques are there. Drip pricing. Drip pricing is when the costs are not revealed upfront. They conceal it, that if you click on the link or if you buy it, if you go into the bill at the end, then you will get to know the price. That is drip pricing. Then there is false urgency. They say only limited stocks are there, the last piece is going to be sold in an hour. All those are false urgency. Then there is distinguished ads. They resemble an editorial or an organic content, but they are not. They have to disclose that they are paid reviews, otherwise it comes under distinguished ads. Then bait and switch, that is that they advertise for one product but deliver another. We all have seen how alcohol is not allowed to advertise on television, but they advertise alcohol through music CDs. So that is bait and switch. Not typically a bait and switch example, but yes, we can get to know about it. Then we did IR. We saw India, Sri Lanka. India, Sri Lanka, the role of India in helping Sri Lanka out in 2022 economic crisis was huge. We extended 4 billion US dollars in food and financial assistance to Colombo. There are 3 F's: fuel, food, and fertilizer. Then there is a passenger ferry services from Nagapattinam to Kan, Kanke Santurai. Kanke Santurai. Then we already have a free trade agreement with Sri Lanka, signed it in 1998, came to force in 2000. India is one of the largest contributors of FDI to Sri Lanka. Okay. Then we have Mitra Shakti and Slynex. These are naval exercise and military exercises which India and Sri Lanka conduct regularly. Then this is Park Strait and this is Gulf of Mannar area. Then Kachativu Islands, it's always in the news because India already gave the rights to Sri Lanka, but they continue to capture our fishermen. So that's area of contention. Then Colombo and Hambantota ports are made by China and Sri Lanka. China is wading its way into Sri Lankan territory. There is always an issue of civil war or ethnic war kind of in Sri Lanka amongst Tamilian and Sinhalese people. So the 13th Amendment of Sri Lankan Constitution says that they allow devolution of power of provinces which has not been implemented yet. Okay. Then India and France, Horizon 2047 framework. Okay. Then Rafale, P-75 Scorpion. These all are equipments. France is the second largest defense exporter to India. This is important. France is the second largest defense exporter to India. Then, and then we saw that France has joined BRI. And there is MTCRIWA, Missile Technology Control Regime, MTCR, and Wassenaar Agreement in Australia Group, in which France has helped India to get into it. France always advocates for India's involvement in the G7 and not G7 in the United Nations Security Council. Then there is a trilateral grouping of UAE, France, and India, which aims to ensure security from east coast of Africa to the Pacific. Then neighborhood first policy. We saw that the 22nd report of Committee on External Affairs of India's neighborhood first policy was submitted to the parliament. We talk about 5S: Samman, Samvad, Sanskriti, Shanti, and Samriddhi. Samman, Samvad, Sanskriti, Shanti, and Samriddhi. Let's repeat again. 5S is there: Samman, Samvad, Sanskriti, Shanti, and Samriddhi. Then India's energy diplomacy is with Myanmar and Thailand. India's exports power is with Bangladesh, Nepal, and Bhutan. TAPI is Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and India, which is for natural gas to be delivered from Turkmenistan to all these other nations. We have nuclear energy cooperation with India US nuclear deal, India Japan civil nuclear deal, and we have hydroelectric cooperation with India imports power from Tal, Chuka, Kurichu, and Mangadechu hydroelectric power plants in Bhutan. And India is also involved in the projects of Nepal, including the Mahakali Treaty, the Upper Karnali project, and Arun projects. India aims to uh, denote or consume $2 billion for solar power by 2025. Then International Solar Alliance is there. Then strengthening multilateral development banks, MDBS. Eliminate extreme poverty, contributing to global public goods, and boosting shared prosperity is the triple agenda. MDB gave to $222 billion during 2008 financial crisis, and it needs $3 trillion per year by 2030 in emerging markets. We saw that. Then moving on to Shanghai Cooperation Organization, Shanghai Summit 2001, New Delhi Declaration. So this is New Delhi Declaration. Headquarters in Beijing. Members are Russia, China, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan. Iran is a new member. Secure. Prime Minister Modi has given an acronym of SECURE: security, economic, connectivity, uniform, respect for sovereignty, and environmental protection. Then there is Kashi, first tourism and cultural capital of SEO. Then uranium is a Kyrgyzstan is a hub of uranium. India has India should promote a constructivist approach. Then Black Sea grain deal, Russia withdrew. UN and Turkey brokered the Black Sea grain deal. UN and Turkey. Chernomorsk, Odessa, Yuzhny, and Pednevi. These are the export corridors for Ukraine. Russia and Belarus are the world's largest sources of mineral fertilizer, 14%. In news and shorts, we saw smart power. Norway joined NATO. Then RETA, Renewable Energy Technologies Action Platform. Then we saw SAGE, South Asia Group for Energy. Then we saw India, UAE, local currencies. And first IIT abroad is in Tanzania, and the second is going to be in UAE, Abu Dhabi. CEPA is with India and UAE, Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement. BIMSTEC, Bangkok Declaration 1997. Then the second largest export destination for India is UAE, and UAE is also India's third largest trading partner. India has joined United Nations Group of Global Crisis Response Group, GCRG. So it is overseen by Champions Group comprising of Bangladesh, Barbados, Denmark, Germany, Indonesia and Senegal. Then India hosted the 4th Clean Energy Ministerial and 8th Mission Innovation MI8 meeting. India is a founding member of Mission Innovation. Then CPTPP, UK has signed it and it's joined CPTPP. UK will be the 12th member and the first in Europe to join since its inception. India is not a part of CPTPP. Then European Sky Shield Initiative, ESSI. Austria and Switzerland have joined ESSI. It was spearheaded by Germany after Russia-Ukraine war. Then Orkney Islands. It split from UK and became a self-governing territory of Norway. Okay, then it's done. Revision is done. Now we'll do economy. Let's see whether it's working or not. Now in economy, let's see what all are there. There is National Multidimensional Poverty Index, okay, GST, widening tax breaks, Jan Vishwas Amendment Bill, Gig Workers, Gig Economy, FPI, Corporate Debt Market, Mines and Minerals Development Amendment Bill, Manrega, Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, NABARD, Livestock Sector, Pricing in Agriculture Produce, Farm Mechanization and News and Shorts. Let's start. We'll write here second revision done. Now economy. National Multidimensional Poverty Index. Recently, Niti Aayog released the second edition of National MPI based on National Family Health Survey 2019 to 21. Okay. So, multidimensional poverty is a measure of deprivation beyond money. Poverty's traditional measure is monetary income or consumption, but it's possible to cross the monetary poverty line and still lack the other basics. So, who has released? Niti Aayog has released the second edition of National MPI based on National Family Health Survey 5 2019 to 21. It represents India's progress in reducing multidimensional poverty between NFHS 4 and NFHS 5. It is a follow up to the baseline report published in November 2021 about MPI. Under the government's Global Indices for Reforms and Growth Initiative, GURG, Niti Aayog is the nodal agency for MPI. So, who is the nodal agency for MPI? Niti Aayog, nodal agency for MPI. GURG monitors India's performance on various important social and economic parameters. Methodology used in computing India's national MPI is Alkar-Foster methodology. It identifies people as poor or not poor based on dual cutoff counting method. Dual cutoff counting method. According to AF technology, that is Alkar-Foster methodology, AF Alkar-Foster. An individual is considered as MPI poor if their deprivation score equals or exceeds the India's national MPI poverty cutoff of 33.33%. MPI poor is if it equals to India's national MPI poverty cutoff of 33.33%. So, what are the sub indices of national MPI? It's important. There are three. The first is head count ratio. How many are poor? So, proportion of multidimensional tourism population, which is arrived at by dividing the number of multidimensional poor persons by total population. Then the second one is intensity of poverty. A. H is there, A is there. How poor are the poor? Average proportion of deprivations which is experienced by multidimensional poor individuals. To compute intensity, weighted deprivation scores of all poor people are summed and then divided by the total number of poor people. Third is MPI value is arrived at by multiplying the head count ratio H and the intensity of poor, reflecting both the share of people in poverty and degree in which they are deprived. So MPI is H into A. So MPI is H into A. Now indicators in India's national MPI. In national MPI model retains the 10 original indicators of the global MPI model and has added 2 more indicators, viz. Maternal health and bank account. So plus maternal health and bank account. It's important. So there are total of 12 indicators. 10 plus 2. So let's see all the indicators. Health. Health carries 1/3 dimension. There are 1, 2, 3 dimension in health. So 1 plus 6 plus 1 plus 12 plus 1 plus 12 equals 1 plus 1 by 3. Sorry. 1 by 6 plus 1 by 12 plus 1 by 12 equals 1 by 3. The first one is nutrition, 1 by 6. A single member of the household is identified as undernourished. A household is considered deprived if a single member of the household is identified as undernourished. Body mass index of a woman 15 to 49 of a man 15 to 54 is below 18.5 kg per meter square. Okay. Any child between the ages of 0 to 59 months is found to be undernourished. Okay. Then child and adolescent mortality 1 by 12. Any child or adolescent under the 18 years of age has died in the household 5 years preceding the survey. Then maternal health. Any woman in the household who has given birth has not received at least 4 antenatal care visits 5 years preceding the survey. Then these are the 3 criteria in health. And maternal health has been added by India. Then education, we have 1 by 6 plus 1 by 6 equals 1 by 3. So there are only 2 criteria in education. There's years of schooling and school attendance. Not even one member of the household aged 10 years or older has completed 6 years of schooling. Has completed 6 years of schooling. Then there is school attendance. Any school aged child is not attending school up to the age at which he or she would complete class 8. Okay. Then the third one is standard of living. 1 by 3. So we have 1 by 21 plus 1 by 21 plus 1 by 21 plus 1 by 21. Okay, so there are all of them are 1 by 21 and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7, 3s are 21. 1 by 21 into 7 equals to 1 by 3. We have cooking fuel. A household cooks with dung, agriculture crops, shrubs, wood, charcoal or coal. In sanitation, the household has unimproved or no sanitation facility or is improved but shared with other households. Drinking water does not have access to improved drinking water or safe drinking water at least 30-minute walk from the home as a round trip. So you have safe drinking water if you don't have to go for at least 30-minute walk from home as a round trip. Then electricity, the house has no electricity. Then housing, the household has inadequate housing, that is the floor is made up of natural materials or the roof or wall are made up of rudimentary materials. Assets. The household does not own more than one of these assets, that is radio, TV, telephone, computer, animal cart, bicycle, motorbike or refrigerator, and does not own a car or a truck. Bank account. This has been added by India. No household member has a bank account or a post office account. This is a very important chart. We'll keep on revising this again and again. Kindly note, per capita income, literacy rate, and life expectancy are not included as an indicators of MPI. These are included in the HDI, but not in the MPI. Okay. Per capita income is not there, literacy rate is not there, and life expectancy is not there. Then key highlights of the report. Steep decline in poverty head count ratio from 24.85% to 14.96%. Decline in poverty head count from 24.85% 2015-16 to 14.96% 2019-21. 13.5 crore people exited multidimensional poverty between 2015-16 to 2019-21. Then rural areas witnessed the fastest decline in poverty from 32.5% to 19%. Then urban areas saw a reduction in poverty from about 8.5% to 5%. Then there is improvement in intensity of poverty A from 47.14% to 44.39%. And there is improvement in MPI value from 0.117 to 0.066. MPI 0.066. Then all 12 indicators, all of them saw a statistically significant reduction. Improvement in nutrition, years of schooling, sanitation, cooking fuel played a significant role in reducing MPI value. India is on the track to achieve the SDG target 1.2, which is reducing multidimensional poverty by at least half, much ahead of 2030. Performance of states: Bihar, Jharkhand, UP, Meghalaya, MP are the top 5 states with highest share of population with multidimensional poverty. Kerala has the lowest share of MDB persons. So there is Bihar, Jharkhand, UP, Meghalaya and MP. Meghalaya. UP witnessed the largest decline in the number of MPI people. Bihar, MP, Odisha, Rajasthan have shown fastest reduction in the proportion of multidimensional poor. Bihar saw the fastest reduction in MPI value in absolute terms. In absolute terms, fastest decline is shown by Bihar. Then there is Global Multidimensional Poverty Index 2023 released by UNDP and Oxford Poverty and Human Development Initiative UPHI since 2010. So MPI is published by UNDP plus Oxford plus OPHI since 2010. MPI tracks deprivations in 10 indicators across 110 countries. Key findings are 1.1 billion by 6.6 billion people in 110 countries remain multidimensional poor. Nearly two-thirds of all poor people, 730 million, live in middle-income countries, and low-income countries constitute only 10% of MPI. That says a lot. That the bulk of your poor people is not in low-income countries but is in middle-income countries. Okay. Now, goods and services tax, GST. The sixth GST, the sixth Goods and Services Day, Tax Day, was celebrated with the vision GST at the rate 6 सरलीकृत कर समग्र विकास. सरलीकृत कर समग्र विकास. Okay. GST is a unified tax system that replaced multiple indirect taxes levied by the central and state governments. It was implemented on 1st July 2017. 1st July 2017. GST structure. GST system follows a dual structure comprising central GST and state GST levied concurrently by the central and state governments respectively. The idea of a nationwide GST in India was first proposed by the Kelkar Task Force on Indirect Taxes in 2000. Okay. GST idea first proposed by Kelkar Task Force on Indirect Taxes in 2000. An integrated GST, that is IGST, is also levied on interstate supplies and imports collected by the central government but apportioned to the destination state. GST Council is a joint forum under Article 279A, Article 279A of the Constitution of India, consisting of Union Finance Minister as the chairperson and representatives from all states and union territories. The Council makes decisions on various aspects of GST, including tax rates, exemptions, and revenue sharing between central and state governments. What was the need for GST? Establishment of a single national market, complicated taxation regime, issues like tax cascading, need for incorporation of technology, limited ease of doing business, and high cost of tax collection. Impact of GST, push for cooperative federalism. The GST Council meetings have become examples of cooperative federalism where the center and states have deliberated, discussed, and have taken timely decisions on various complex issues. And there is reduction in tax burden. Tax has come down for many common use items with lower tax incidence under GST. Additional taxpayer benefits include easier online processes, a smooth flow of input tax credits, and faster refunds. Benefits to MSMEs, ease of doing compliance burden of MSMEs through measures like composition scheme, QRMP, quarterly return with monthly payment, and optional annual return. Then increased revenue collection. GST has also shown an impressive and steady increase in revenue collection over the last 6 years due to higher economic activity and enhanced compliance. The revenues for June 2023 are 12% higher than June 2022. Okay. Increased revenue tax buoyancy. GST revenue buoyancy for states has improved to 1.22 after its implementation from 0.72 before the rollout of GST. Market integration and ease of doing business. Tax buoyancy increased from 0.72 to 1.22 through enhanced internal trade flows, tax neutral places for business, standard taxation structure, etc. Now, tax buoyancy, it refers to the responsiveness of tax revenue receipts to changes in national income. A tax buoyancy greater than 1 signifies that tax revenues are growing at a faster rate than 1 the growth in national income. So tax revenue is growing at a faster rate than national income. That's what 1.22 tax buoyancy means. Now, what are the challenges in the effective implementation of GST? There is technology glitches. GST portal and e-way billing system have faced multiple technical glitches and have yet to mature to the desired level. And there is absence of GST appellate tribunal. GSTATs, taxpayers must approach high courts. While the enabling legal provisions of GSTATS were introduced, they still need to be fully functional. Erosion of taxpayers' trust. High courts across the country face petitions filed by taxpayers against arbitrary cancellations of GST registrations and disproportionate denial of input credits. The reason being cited for this are increasingly stringent enforcement powers, tax evasion, and fraudulent claims. GST officers have busted 304 syndicates involving 9,000 fake GSTINs, GST identification numbers, and input tax credit claims of 25,000 crores in recent drive against bogus firms. Now, what is a GST network? GSTN is a not-for-profit company was created to provide the IT backbone for GST system, including taxpayer registration, return filing, and tax payments. GSTC has approved the conversion of GSTN into a government company. Hence, 100% of the shareholding of health is held by the government, 50% with union government, and 50% jointly with state governments and union territories. So GST network is now 100% government owned. And steps taken to improve GST. Information sharing. The government has amended the provisions of Prevention of Money Laundering Act (PAMLA) 2002 to allow Enforcement Directorate to share information with GSTN. Currently, GST Act under Section 158 gives the power to disclose the information it has about any prosecution under IPC and even under any law for the time being in force. Increased technology penetration. The use of digital tools by field officers like ITC verification, e-way bill verification, and generation of actionable information by Advait ensured GST compliance. Advait Advanced Analytics in Indirect Taxes, rolled out in 2021, is a flagship analytics project for indirect taxes by CBIC. It aims to use big data and artificial intelligence to enhance indirect tax revenue, increase the taxpayer base, and support data driven tax policy. Tighten registration norms. GST authorities plan to introduce biometric authentication and geotagging for existing and new registrants if they match as risky entities availing input tax credits fraudulently. Tightening of return filing system. It aims to act against fraudsters misusing permanent account number PAN and Aadhaar identification to obtain GST registration. Way forward is rationalization of tax rates for ease of compliance and free flow of refunds and credits. Then there is legal and administrative changes, tightening enforcements to curb leakages and simplify the tax filing experience. Use of technology. Technology based monetary system through e-returns, e-invoices, e-way bills, Aadhaar authentication, etc. Streamlining of audits, assessments and investigations, issuance of detailed standard operating procedures for processes for summons, investigations and audits, expansion of tax network. Alcohol, petroleum and other products can be brought within the ambit of GST. Then online gaming. Let's see what all we did. Now we'll do online gaming. GST Council recently imposed a GST of 28% on online gaming. GST of 28%, horse racing and casinos. On online gaming, horse racing and casinos. So what are the types of online games? Game of skill. Games in which the outcome depends on the player's expertise, practice, and experience, and not merely on chance. Until now, 18% GST was charged on platforms' commission service fee of gross gaming revenues. For example, Rummy and fantasy sports games like Dream 11. In game of chance, games in which the outcome is decided by randomized events and treated similarly to betting, gambling, and horse racing. Till now, 28% GST was charged on these games. Example: Ludo, poker, lottery, etc. Besides this, a TDS of 30% is deducted from the winnings in both game types. What are the key highlights? Tax rate 28% on electronic gaming, casinos, and horse trading, to be applied on the initial amount paid upon entry, not on the total value of each bet placed. covers both games based on both skill and chance. Tax on offshore online gaming firms. Such companies will have to register themselves with the GST authorities and pay the tax to offer their services to Indian gamers. Amendment to the Integrated GST Act 2017 will be made to enforce this enforcement. After necessary modifications to central and state laws, new tax is expected to come into effect from 1st October. New tax. Implications of the move: positive, increase in revenue. The move is expected to increase the industry's revenue from 2,000 crore to 20,000 crore. Moral suasion: the act might deter the development of gaming addiction among youngsters, which has led to the loss of money and lives in most cases. Regulation regulates the industry. Move aims to simplify the mechanism, eradicate complexity, and imbibe transparency in the gaming sector. Negative impact on FDI. The decision could severely impact the $2.5 billion of FDI already invested and potentially jeopardize any further FDI in the industry. So there is $2.5 billion in gaming industry. May lead to an increase in unlicensed operators. So what is the position of online gaming industry in India? Online gaming has seen a significant spike in demand across various online games such as multiplayer online games, role-playing games, and real-time strategy or skill games. Status: current value is $2.6 billion, projected growth of 27% over the next 5 years. User base: India has the largest fantasy sports market with a user base of 180 million people. Largest fantasy sports market with 180 million people. It has employed around 1 lakh people in 2022. It attracted 15,000 crore FDI till 2022. So, what is the need to regulate online gaming in India? To create better and transparent taxation, to prevent underage gambling, to safeguard the right of the players, health issues such as stress, anxiety, depression, etc., to deter money laundering activities, to maintain fairness in the process, social issues like poor educational performances, underage users, etc., technological risk of rise of cyber attacks, financial fraud, etc. What are the challenges? Jurisdictional dilemma. On one hand, online gaming is a state subject. Online gaming is a state subject as it comes under gambling and betting. On the other hand, Center has made METI the nodal ministry of online gaming. So several states like Tamil Nadu, Andhra, Telangana have created laws regulating online gaming. Then there is moral stand versus revenue collection dilemma. While the industry is providing revenue to the government in thousands of crores of one side, hundreds of people have lost lives and lifetime savings due to their addiction to online games. There is protection of the players' rights. While the gaming companies act as a mere intermediaries in the game, no concrete regulatory framework has been established to address the players' grievances and protection. Way forward: ensure legal clarity and reduced multiplicity of regulation. That is, Central can invoke residuary powers under Article 248 to frame a model law. Center can invoke residuary powers under Article 248 to frame a model law, ensure transparency of the online gaming companies so that courts are not tweaked to favor any particular set of individuals or company itself, setting a clear distinction between game of skills and chance, introducing screen timeout limiting the number of games per individual, and curbing loss chasing. A cap can be introduced on the number of transactions from an individual across platforms on one platform to avoid more significant economic losses. Okay, so we'll stop for now and we'll continue in complete economy tomorrow morning. Stay tuned. I know we got delayed a bit in the middle, but we'll continue and complete it as soon as possible. Today is 5th. We'll complete it latest by 10th of September. All right. Good night then. Keep studying. Thank you.